if you could buy a piggy bank,
Mhm,
right,
mhm,
with money in it,
mhm,
wouldn't you want to do that, right? Starting to buy an asset versus a liability. So number one, your house would be considered your piggy bank. And as you pay your mortgage, it's as if you're putting money into that piggy bank, right?
mhm.
So not only did you buy something that benefits you, you're also investing in that. So now that piggy bank is getting larger and larger and larger, and that money is yours.
Hey, y'all, and welcome to Let's Talk Sis. I'm Shekinah, your host, and as we spend time together, I can promise you three things. I'll be honest, I'll make you laugh, and I won't hold back. Let's Talk Sis is your essential girl talk destination where you'll hear about life from the perspective of a black woman in America, as our stories often go untold. I can assure you, while honest, we are a community for growth and love. Remember to like, subscribe, and share the podcast. Now sit back, relax, and let's talk, sis. Hello, 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 beautiful people. Welcome back. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know where you at. And if you don't, you have landed on the Let's Talk Sis podcast, the ultimate girl talk destination. And I am so excited to be back another week with my beautiful family. And y'all know every week we are bringing amazing, wonderful, competent, beautiful black women to the stage just so they can tell us a little bit about who they are, some things that they have experienced, some lessons that maybe we can learn by just getting to know them. And this week I have with me Miss Tanipha Frage of Home Ownership with T. Hey girl, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I am good. I'm so excited to have you in the building and, just get into some girl talk, get into, all the things that we like to kiki about. How's your day been going so far? I got her in the middle of the day on a Thursday, so I definitely appreciate her time.
Absolutely. My day's been going pretty good. This morning I had a client get their keys, so that was fun. And then just been recording more content to get these new construction properties out to everybody in Palm Beach. So it's been
Yeah.
pretty exciting.
Yeah. Content, oh my God. Content is a whole beast in and of itself. Like,
Oh, tell me about it.
girl. And then you have to do that on top of your job. So it's just like kudos to anybody who got a social media account with any little bit of consistency. Shout out to y'all out there.
It is hard, like managing it both, like
Mm-hmm.
what you want to show to people, how you want to edit, and then also like imposter syndrome, like what does this look like to other
Yeah.
people? So it's a journey.
Yeah. Yeah, I just had a whole little that's I was a little bit late hopping on.
Mhm.
I'm rebranding myself.
Okay.
So I just had a whole little brainstorm session. It was very productive, so I'm very happy. I'm excited for y'all to see that stuff coming up. But because of what you said, I'm like, okay, I'm really gonna be intentional about
Mhm.
planning a lot of stuff out so that I can balance all the things when they come up. So all right, y'all. So y'all know how we kick this off. I gotta get into our first segment. It's called Go Off Sis. This is where I get the opportunity to tell y'all the caliber of women that we have speaking with us today, read you their bios, just so you can know, we got accomplished people going on up here. They just not talking just to talk. They know what they're speaking about, okay? So Tanipha Frage is a dedicated real estate professional and the founder of Home Ownership with T, a real estate a real estate brand built on the mission of helping families create legacy, financial freedom, and equity through home ownership. With over 3 years of experience in the real estate industry, Tanifa specializes in educating and guiding first-time home buyers, sellers, and investors, particularly in underserved communities, to build generational wealth. Born and raised in Palm Beach County, Florida, Tanifa is deeply connected to her community and passionate about empowering families to turn their dreams of home ownership into reality. She believes that real estate is more than just buying and selling homes, it's about changing lives. Her mission to bridge the gap in real estate education by providing transparent guidance, access to resources, and opportunities for wealth building. In addition to her work as a uh, realtor, okay, that's
Sure.
very key indication. Tanifa also hosts community workshops, networking events, and educational seminars aimed at promoting financial literacy, home ownership, and community building. Her events like the annual Manifest Yourself 2025 Vision Board Party have become a space for individuals to connect, learn, and set financial goals that align with their home ownership dreams. Tanifa's approach to real estate is rooted in service, integrity, and purpose. Her goal is to continue breaking barriers in home ownership, helping families in her community build long lasting wealth and legacy. Welcome, Tanifa. Hey, girl.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. How does it feel when you hear your bio? Are you like, okay, that's just the beginning? I got so much more to do. Do you feel like, yep, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be? What does it feel like when you hear all that stuff back?
It's like a realization of everything that you have done. Because, we
Yeah.
move day by day and we forget to pat ourselves on the back for things that we have done. So reading it in full, it's like, dang, I put that together. I really did
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And other people are seeing that as well. So it's like a to your
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's so important, and that's kind of I love this segment because like you said, we just be moving, especially as Black
Mhm.
women. We got stuff to do. We probably wear five, six, seven different hats, and we have big goals. We got a lot of stuff we want to accomplish, and so we just putting our head down doing the work day by day. So it's nice to have an opportunity to, hear about ourselves and pat ourselves on the back. So
Right.
shout out to you. I love that.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. Okay, so y'all know we're gonna keep this party going. We're getting into our next segment. It's called Let's Talk Scent. This is where I discuss with my guests some candles. As y'all know, I'm into aromatherapy, and scent is very much so responsible for cognitive function and mood and stress levels and all of that stuff. So, Tanifa, what you got burning over there?
I have a Better Homes and Garden candle. It is a salted coconut and mahogany candle.
Ooh, salted coconut and mahogany. I have not heard that combination before. I like
Smells
that.
like a fresh home. That's what it smells like.
I love that. It's like that's the candle that you light when you're done cleaning up everything. Don't
Up,
nobody, the kitchen is closed.
feet
Candle.
up, wine in the glass. That's
Yes, I'm
what I'm
trying to.
burning.
I love that. I love that. You need that. Let everybody know what's all going on. I have a rose scented candle here. Y'all seen this one before, but I'm like, I'm doing these podcasts every week. I didn't realize I'm gonna need new candles every time. So y'all just gonna have to double dip because this is still full.
Right.
Still need to burn it. It smells so good. And I bought it because this glass is like pretty and I'm like, I'm gonna use this
Beautiful.
after the candles are burnt out. So I love that. I love that. Are you a candle girly or do you only
Damn.
yeah,
I
I am
am.
too.
And you know what candle I've been eyeing is the
Uh,
Forever Mood candles, the Jackie.
yeah. I don't know why I haven't bought them yet. I
Me
guess because I
neither.
like to go in the store and I like to
Mhm.
pick them up and
And
smell them and
smell
it's a whole
them. Yeah.
experience. I don't know if she has her stuff in stores or not, but
I haven't seen it. I went to Ulta, I want to say last weekend, and
uh
finally got some of her perfume that just restocked.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was my first time smelling them, but I didn't see any candles.
Did you like her perfumes?
I love them.
Are they good? Okay. Because you be seeing people online and they be, oh my God, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good.
Mhm.
But
No, but hers,
yeah, it's really good.
I love it.
Okay.
My favorite is I Am Her. So if you get a chance to smell that one.
I hear about that one in NDA a lot.
And the NDA was my least favorite, surprisingly.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna have to see do a little taste test for
Yeah.
myself. All right, so with that being said, we're gonna get into our icebreaker. Okay, so this is gonna help us set the mood a little bit, help the people get to know you, Tanifa, outside of a professional manner. It's just a silly little fun question I like to ask. So my question for you is: the party starts at 7. Okay,
Oh,
how late is too late to arrive, and how earlier on time is too earlier on time to be considered rude? Because this answer is going to vary depending on who's listening. So I want to know what you think.
um, me and time have a battle. Every day it's a battle
Ah,
between me and time. So okay, if it starts at 7,
what time are you getting there?
what time am I getting there? I'm not gonna lie, probably like 9.
Ah,
I'm getting there around like 8:39, like just pushing enough to say I was here by 8, but it's really about to be
but
9.
it's
Like,
really not.
yes.
She said I'm gonna get there at 8:45 so I can say I was there by 8.
Right.
Girl, that is crazy.
I'm
Okay.
working on it.
And so this is also the long-standing battle. It's like, okay, do we embrace the people like you who we know are gonna be 2 hours late, and do we tell y'all
The
it's
wrong time.
five?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
do we hold y'all to a higher standard and say, speed that thing up, get there on time? I don't know the right answer. I don't
A
know.
little bit of both. Lie to me about the time, but when
Okay.
it's getting close, be like, hey T.
Okay. Hurry up. Moving
Yeah,
along. Let's speed this
I need
thing.
both. Both, please. My friends already know what it is, and I apologize in advance, but it's time to
Well,
me.
I appreciate your honesty, and that's true. Your friends definitely need to know what kind of friend you are because don't be trying to change me. Like, no, I take a long time, or I take my time getting ready. Like,
Right.
I'm the quick getting ready friend. I don't take that long to get ready. Give me a good fit. I could get ready in 15 minutes, an
Hmm.
hour, and I'm ready to go out the door. But I do have friends that like to take their time, putting lotion in every single little crevice, crack, crease.
You
Then you gotta
know,
let it soak.
for me, it's I could get ready in 15.
Uh
It
huh.
can I walk out the house? I don't know what it is. I
Ah.
like I'm leaving something and then my mind escapes me. By then I'm looking 10 minutes for a lip gloss that should have been in the
Really? Okay,
yes.
okay. So it's the
So,
subsequent stuff that
yes,
keeps you
yes.
held down
So
in the house.
I pack all my stuff in advance. Like
That's smart. You got to do something to help. Like,
mhm.
please help me. All right, y'all. So with that, let's get into your business. Let's talk, sis. Okay.
Mhm.
So Tanifa, growing up in Palm Beach County, did you ever think that you'd be in real estate? And what was the little you dreaming of back then?
Growing up, I did not see real estate. I didn't know much about real estate at all. Besides that, I lived in a house.
Uh huh.
Cause I saw myself being in the medical field. My mom was a nurse, and a lot of the elders around me were nurses as well.
Okay.
But no, I got my first job at 15. Saw the business side. It was at Chick-fil-A, so I saw the business side of Chick-fil-A, and I was like, I want to be a businesswoman.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's really kind of how it became real estate from servicing and being in that hospitality field. And I was like, how can I really help my community? And it was real estate, really.
Yeah. So you speak a lot about, helping families in your community build generational wealth through real estate. And that's something that we hear, all the real estate gurus is invest now and buy now and da da. But can you explain just kind of in a simple way or whatever, how does that actually work? Like when people are saying invest, what does that mean to build generational wealth through real estate? How does that translate?
So the imagery that I like to paint is if you could buy a piggy bank,
Mhm.
right,
Mhm.
with money in it,
Mhm.
wouldn't you want to do that, right? Starting to buy an asset versus a liability. So number one, your house would be considered your piggy bank. And as you pay your mortgage, it's as if you're putting money into that piggy bank, right?
Mhm.
So not only did you buy something that benefits you, you're also investing in that. So now that piggy bank is getting larger and larger and larger, and that money is
Mhm.
yours.
Mhm.
So in a sense, once you buy your home, you're buying an asset. You're putting money into that piggy bank. So like if you wanted to do anything else, you
Mhm.
could literally pull money out of that, take that equity, buy
Mhm.
another property, help your family, whatever the
Mhm.
case may be, because it's like your money is rolling over. It's like your personal credit card, is
Mhm.
how I see a home.
Mhm.
And that's one of the best ways to become financially free, as we know within real estate.
Mhm.
So that's one way, but you could also get into flipping houses, saving money, and that's a quicker way to double your money on the investment side.
Mhm.
But absolutely, buying real estate, you don't lose. You
Ever.
cannot lose in real estate. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like what I'm hearing you say, okay, so I buy a house, today for $100,000.
Hmm.
Where I'm buying that house at, I don't know, but
But if I find it, I'll let you know.
the simple numbers. I buy the house today for $100,000. I'm
Mhm.
paying off my mortgage over time.
Right.
uh, 10, 20 years, that house is now worth $200,000 because I don't know, better houses have gone in the area. Maybe they just built an airport up the street. The value of that
Right.
house has
Mhm.
somehow increased, right? And so now I own the home 15, 20 years later, and now I have the opportunity to pass that down to my children, my
Yep.
grandchildren, and then now they automatically have increased their net worth by having this asset on their books, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of times, so what happens when we hear about those stories of, oh, well, they sold grandma's house after she passed away, or we used to have a house over there on Third Street, but they had to sell it or whatever. What are those like tragic stories? What is happening in a family, or what needs to happen so that we don't continue that pattern, but we continue the pattern of nope, I got this house from my grandma or my great grandma or whatever.
I think it's the importance of understanding the value of having a property and how to use that equity as well. And also
Right.
on the back end, like protecting your asset. Because a lot
Okay.
of the times when grandma dies, there was nobody in line to take over the home. No one
Hmm.
transferred the deed while she was alive to prevent a probate sale happening, right? And so once an owner of a property passes away and there's no one in line to take care of the property, and now it goes to the heirs. So now
Hmm.
all the grandchildren, aunties and uncles need to figure out what it is that we want to do with this home, and everybody has to be on the same page,
Hmm. That
right?
rarely ever happens.
Exactly. So now
Hmm.
you're in a tough situation where half of the family wants to keep it, half of the family wants to sell it, and then if they do sell it, who is getting the money? That's
Right.
another bidding war, you know? So I think it's important that we understand how to use trust, put homes
Hmm.
in trust, pretty much the whole financial literacy on the back end of how to protect our assets is not there in our community, unfortunately.
Hmm.
So that's a big opportunity there.
Hmm. Yeah. What do you do to protect it? Like, is you said transferring the deed. What other things can people put into place to, prevent this from
Put
happening?
put the property into a trust. You
Okay.
could also that's the best way to put the
Okay.
property into a trust because the trust will have rules and guidelines on what to do once the property owners pass away.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like a will for the home in
Mhm.
a sense, and that's one of the best ways to do it. If the family is all on board and you guys, grandma is the last living heir for the living owner for the property, then transferring it to someone else is another option, and then putting it into the trust would be the
Oh,
second best.
okay, so just speaking of challenges, for you personally as an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
we kind of touched a little bit earlier on building a brand and just kind of some of the challenges that come along with that. How do you navigate? I can imagine you face, challenges when it's trying to get, especially our community, to understand, like you're saying, the value in what you're doing, um, the process to how to do it, right? How to bounce back over obstacles. So, how do you navigate that for yourself professionally and then when dealing with clients?
Professionally and personally, I just have to weigh out my options and understand my why. Number one, although times are tough, why
Yeah.
am I doing this? Do I have a plan set up to help me do this? And who
Mhm.
do I have in my network to help me when I am lacking in certain areas?
Mhm.
So I see it as a village. Like I cannot function by myself. Like
Yeah.
I have an accountability partner, I have my broker, I have family, I have people that I've found in the finance world,
Mhm.
and real estate attorneys who could assist me with things that I may be going through. So I don't take it personal. If I am going through something, somebody
Right.
has been through it and somebody
Yeah.
can help me.
Mhm.
And I think in the beginning, I was so fearful of failing that I was fearful of letting people know that I was failing as well. So I
Mm.
wasn't asking for help. But
Yeah.
but now if I got problems, it's somebody in my phone who I can call.
Immediately.
Say, hey, what do I do?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's so good because you do get afraid of failure, and you think, and you said something else about not taking it personally, right? When you're building this business, it is your business, right? And so it's easy to think, everything that's happening is happening to me,
Right,
right? Everything that's not happening is not happening to me. And we sometimes miss that this is a whole industry, right? Real estate has been around forever and ever, and there's nothing
right.
really new under the sun. Yeah, there's chat GPT now
Mhm.
versus before, but at the end of the day, like you're saying, those same problems, those same issues, those same heartburns and concerns other people have been through it.
Yeah.
And it's so important. We've spoken about this on a couple episodes of the podcast, but I'm going to forever reiterate it. Having a community, like you're saying, those people that can push you back into being motivated, those people
Right.
that can help you see another perspective, and it's not judgmental, right? Because like you mentioned, you are already feeling a way that I feel a way that Miss Polly made me feel a way because she said she didn't want to buy this house, right?
Mm-hmm.
I already don't want to be upset about it, but I am. It's
Right.
bothering me, or something about it is bothering me, and I want to be able to go to somebody who's not gonna judge me, who's not gonna be like, girl, you tripping, you overreacting, you this, you that, but they're going to see, understand me, give me some practical advice. Maybe I am tripping, but they'll say it in a
Right. This is
way.
how you move, you know? So I think that's
Yeah.
important because when I
Yeah.
first started, I was a hot mess. I took everything so emotional.
Hmm. Give me
Especially
an example. Tell me. I want the tea.
okay. Let me see. I am an empath
Okay.
through and through.
Same.
So so when you're doing this huge transaction, you're purchasing a home, you have anxiety. You have fear.
Mm-hmm.
You're doubting and you're projecting on me. And not
Mm-hmm.
only do I feel like I am responsible for getting you this home, but I am also responsible for putting you at ease.
Mm.
So I had to learn that to not take on their emotions, number one.
Yeah, that's so good.
And
Mm-hmm.
number two, to just be confident in what I know, you
Yeah.
know. Don't let how they're feeling deter how I'm treating them or
Yeah.
my business
Mm-hmm.
structure on how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I used to come home and mom like she couldn't find a house and she's sad or we just went under
Yeah.
contract and her dad told her no and it gets
Uh.
really emotional because it's like you finally hit a space
Mm-hmm.
in their home buying journey. And then
Mm-hmm.
naturally, as a home buyer, there's new worries that comes. After
Mm-hmm.
the inspection period, you're worrying. After the financing period, you're worrying. You're sitting at the
Yeah.
closing table, you're worried.
Yeah.
So it's
Mhm.
kind of like, um, it's just a roller coaster of emotions throughout the whole home buying process. And I had to take
Yeah.
myself out of that.
That's such a good point. For any, and your business is a sales kind of based business selling homes,
Right.
right? And I think anyone in those kinds of positions is such a good point. I never really thought about being an empath in a position like that is not helpful, and that's probably why I don't do
Yeah.
well in sales, because you're absolutely right. Like, you
Hmm.
over there anxious, you over there worried, concerned, not really listening, whatever the other person on the other side of the
And
table
I'm
is
feeling
feeling,
it.
and I'm taking it on, and it
Yeah.
plays on your insecurities of,
Hmm.
well, is the information I'm giving you valuable? Because if it was
Right.
valuable,
You
you would
wouldn't be
buy
feeling
it. you
anxious. Right.
you wouldn't have anxiety. If I was calming your fears, you wouldn't be fearful. But whole time,
Right.
what they got going on probably ain't
Has
got
nothing to
nothing to do
do.
with you, right? And you have to really compartmentalize that. And that's such an excellent point. And for anybody who is in these industries and feeling that way, maybe that's something to recognize within yourself. Wait, I'm an empath. Like, I'm taking on these people's emotions. I walked in here excited, ready to give them the 411, and all of a sudden
Hmm.
I'm feeling anxious. But I know what I'm talking about. I've said this 50 million times before, or I just read it, or I just looked at the numbers, and now you double checking everything on the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's so good. Thank you for sharing that, because it takes a level of vulnerability to admit that. And so when you're working with these clients and they may feel anxious or whatever, you mentioned that you like to create a safe space for them to go through this process. What does that look like, and what are some things that you have found have helped put your clients at ease and go through the process a little more comfortably?
I find that giving more value and more information
Mm-hmm.
puts a lot of my clients at ease.
Okay.
There is no rush. I tell my clients up front, there is no rush for you to buy this house. If it
Mm-hmm.
takes us to go see 20 houses, we will go see all 20,
Mm-hmm.
to put you at ease. If you have questions, if you want to sit and read this contract line by line,
Yeah.
it will make time for you to understand what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I also understand from previous clients the jungle that your mind may be feeling with
Yeah.
all this jargon, with all these emotions, with all these houses I'm sending you, with all these contracts that you need to sign. with all this money that's or
Mhm.
numbers that these lenders are setting for you, that
Mhm.
kind of makes you feel just anxious about the whole
Overwhelmed and
buying
stuff.
process. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I let my clients know, like, text me, call me, I will pick up. If I don't pick up, I'm going to call you same day. If
Mhm.
it's an emergency, just text me 911 and I will call you right now. And I
Mhm.
really just make them feel like you are my only client in this moment,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
that's how important this process is, you know.
Mhm.
I really hate when people are like, "Oh, I was just on the phone. I'm so sorry. Give me a second." You don't got to tell nobody that. I'm gonna call you right back. I'm gonna
Yeah.
call you right back because you are important to me, you
Yeah.
know. So I just make sure that they understand that it's a you and me thing.
Mhm.
Whoever else that you feel makes you feel safe as well are invited
To
in this
come in the
process as
process.
well. Yeah.
Mhm. And that's such an excellent strategy and approach, because what like you're saying, this is a lot of money people are spending. It's oftentimes a new experience people are
Right.
having, and I think um some way somehow promotion of realtors like yourself needs to be more in the forefront, because a lot of people still have this stigma of, oh, well, if I'm asking questions, I'm going to be a bother,
Right.
or, I got to be ready. I got to know everything before stepping into a situation. And that's not necessarily the case.
At all.
You're there for us to be able to ask questions and to get advice from. But for some reason, sometimes people get a bad rap and
Mhm.
assuming that they have to come in a particular way before being able to, find quality agents like yourself.
Right.
So,
And I think it's just people have to work with the agents that they mesh most with.
right.
You
Mhm.
may find a popular agent, oh, okay, he's doing great, she's doing great, but her personality, his personality does not work with
Mhm.
yours. Or,
Correct.
you know, so I think it's important to interview different agents
Mhm.
too when you're purchasing. Both just as sellers do, buyers need to do that as well, you
Yeah.
know.
Very
So
true. Very true. So, what role does financial literacy play in your work, and how do you educate your clients beyond just purchasing the home?
purchasing the home is the final step.
Okay.
You have to have financial literacy in terms of what's my budget like? What
Mhm.
am I saving? What are my expenses? Do I have an emergency savings plan? You know, those things come first, because if you can't save, you
Mhm.
going into debt for another asset, you won't be able to maintain that asset, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yep.
So I would say we definitely touch on saving. We definitely touch on money management. We make a budget together to make sure that once you buy this house, you're not in a deficit. You're not
Right.
living paycheck by paycheck, because that's not the goal.
No.
And then we touch on credit as well. I make sure that my even if you're sitting in the high sixes, like we're trying to get you a little higher so that way when you do get your home, your credit still stays high. You're able to maintain it. We go over credit report. I tell them how their utilization should be. So it's an
Mhm.
entire learning process.
Mhm.
The trophy to obtaining both, your budget and credit is the home. So that's kind of
Right.
how I paint the picture for them.
That's step one. Okay. And so, if there was something that you need to tell every first time home buyer that they need to know, like, what is that one thing?
Ooh, I got two things. Okay.
Okay. Give them two.
Number one, your first home is not your forever home.
Mm,
If you qualify for a low amount, living in South Florida, say you qualify for 230,000, which isn't much in Palm
mhm.
Beach County to get. If
Mhm.
you can find a house in that budget, buy
Mhm.
it.
Okay.
Buy it. Don't wait until you feel like, okay, I'm gonna work harder to get pre-approved, or I'm gonna save
Mhm.
this amount of money so I can get a bigger house.
Mhm. Mhm.
Get what you can now, because real estate always appreciates.
You'll
And
still. Mhm.
once you sell it, take your proceeds and go get you that dream house. Or you
Right.
want to put it for rent, and then go get your dream house. I think a lot of people think because they can't buy what they want in this moment that they shouldn't buy at all.
Mhm.
That's not true, because we watch the market go up and up and
Yeah.
up.
Every day, be.
Right. It's a
Okay.
struggle out here. And my second thing is you do not need 20% to buy a house. There are
Okay.
down payment assistance programs that you can qualify for. There are seller concessions that you can qualify for. My favorite deal got his home with $3,000 out of pocket.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, and that was from seller concessions and down payment assistance. And he was one of those who didn't qualify for much.
That is crazy. The
Yes,
more you know, the more you know. That's excellent. And those are really, really, really great points, because especially like our generation, and we see so much on Instagram, these people who
right.
got TikTok famous or Instagram famous, and then they bought these
Living
multi-million
luxury.
dollar homes at 22, and that's excellent for them.
Mhm.
That's amazing for them. And that's hell, if it was me, I'd be doing this. But we also have to consider the rest of us, right, who make an average salary,
Right.
throughout the years, and we still want property. The main goal is not a multi-million dollar property at first.
A
It's a
property.
property. Let's get
Right.
a property. Let's get an asset under our belt because, like you said, whether the property started at 200,000 and went to 230, or it started at 1 million and went to 1,030,000, either
Right.
way, you still made $30,000
Right.
in appreciated assets. So think big picture, like
Hmm.
Tifa's saying. And when that home does appreciate, and sometimes that can happen over a year or two,
Right.
easily, where the value just shoots straight up.
Hmm.
So really consider that, like she's saying, when you're looking to purchase your home for the first time. So well, let me ask you, Tanifa, before we go, you've dropped so many good gems, and I love that. I always like to challenge our audience, with the conversation that they want to have. Let's Talk Sis is all about having the tough conversations, the necessary conversations, just to help us grow and be better people. So, given kind of the things that we've touched on today, what do you want to challenge the audience with discussing, whether that's something they need to talk with themselves about or some people in their community?
Oh, don't be scared to talk money with people. I think in our community it's so taboo. Don't tell people how much you make.
Yep.
Don't tell people how much money you have. Live like you're broke until you're rich.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
get it. But we need accountability.
Hmm.
You can only go so far by yourself. Don't be afraid to call a financial advisor. Don't be afraid to call a friend and say, "Hey, where'd you invest your money into? What should we do to make more money, whether it's individually or together?" Um, yeah, talking about money. Talk
Yeah.
about money. Make those uncomfortable conversations. Show your credit. Talk to people about your credit because that's a secret
Yes.
that people have is their credit scores. Don't be afraid to ask for help, number one, and have an accountability person where it's like,
Mhm.
hey, I want to be here next year. How do we get there?
Mhm.
What should I do?
Yeah, that's excellent. That's excellent. Yeah, we are. We're so afraid to mention money, or I don't know, or even sometimes when you're doing well, speak to people about how well you're doing because you feel like they're gonna ask you for something. You feel like they're gonna be knocking on your, oh, well, she got it, she can handle it, she this,
Mhm.
she that. But really, I think the next, because that might be true. But the next layer to the conversation needs to be, well, how did you get,
Right.
to be where you are, and help
Mhm.
me pull me up, teach the
Mhm.
men how to fish, right?
Yes.
So then they ain't got to be coming in your pockets all the time. So I think that's really excellent. And y'all let me know, what these conversations resulted in, what y'all talked about, who did you talk with? Leave me a comment. I'm always interested in, how these conversation challenges are going because I'm sure they're helpful because they help me reflect on a lot of
Yeah.
stuff for my own self. So I love that. Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
last question is, where can we support you? Are you working on any projects? You have anything coming up that you want us to follow or like, or all the good things? Where can people find home ownership with T?
So you can find me on all social media platforms at Home Ownership with T. I host yearly and annual events or annual and monthly events. Manifest Your 2026 is coming up soon, and we
Yes.
have a check-in coming in this summer. We don't have a date just as yet, but July, June. And yeah, just follow me for more events. Follow me on social media, like, follow. Don't be
Yes.
quiet. DM me with any questions that you have. I service the Palm Beach County area all the way down to Broward County. So if you need anything, looking for any real estate help or advice, give me a call.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, T. I appreciate your time.
Welcome.
This was so much fun. And y'all, if y'all didn't like this, if y'all, or excuse me, not if you didn't like it, I know you liked it. But if you didn't learn anything from today, I need you to hit the rewind button, hit replay, get your notepads out, and get serious, okay? Because she dropped some gems, she dropped some good stuff for us to take away. And as always, I thank y'all for listening, and I look forward to seeing y'all next week. I will talk to y'all later. Goodbye.